Hello everybody, it is Sunday the 4th of January and I want to talk about the knowledge of the Ascendant Masters and maybe at the end think about the Ascendant Masters themselves. So I'm doing this as a response to John's and Julien, to a response to something he said in the comments, and I cannot put this all in writing. And the other thing is what Jesus said, it is in giving that we receive. That is so true. And I can say it's a truth because I'm experiencing that truth. Yeah? And that is every time I'm trying to explain this to somebody, it becomes clearer to me. Something became very clear to me last night. Something fell into place. And it was an extremely joyful experience. And I mean, I felt joy. And in first instance, I wasn't aware why I felt joy. But I talked about that in a minute. So, in the comments, and here is this belief of separation, maybe even the belief that this is a prison, an evil prison that we need to get out of. And we were talking about somebody that is making a choice. Well, we are making choices all the time. So John St. Julian's response to that was, I've never found a real self that can deny. I've become aware of an organ of thought and memory creating images of a thought maker. However, it is not permanent. Its structure has different persistently. Only the awareness that is aware of it remains unchanged. I perceive is the only true self. And here is the idea of the self is the all, which cannot be. But what John has become aware of is different levels of being. First of all, of being, which is the origin of thought that creates, that is being. He's also aware of the underlying reality, the unchanging reality, which is the all. And then he's making a choice. Only one of them can be real, the other one must be an illusion. And that is the mistake. And then to come to the point where the underlying unchanging reality is the true self is completely wrong. The self cannot be the all. I show you this here. I want to go to an understanding, the understanding of the Ascendant Masters, and it is really the understanding of the first two Hermetic principles. That is the knowledge of the Ascendant Masters. And that is the principle of mentalism. The all is mind, the universe is mental. Everything is contained in the living mind of the all, the living eternal mind of the all. That is the first principle. The second principle is the principle of correspondence. As above, so below, as below, so above, as within, so without. When we grasp these things, we have a foundation from which we can reason. A clear idea of what it is we are in and what it is what we ourselves are. And that is, in the Hermetic thinking, you have to deny nothing. Everything is contained in the truth. Whereas the New Agers are the way of John St. Julien, something says, I am the truth, but in order to have me as the truth, you have to deny everything else as an illusion, as unreal. So which one, I'm asking you, which one would be the greater truth? The one that has to deny everything around it in order to become the only truth, or the one that incorporates everything that is into the one truth? Which one is the greater? Right. So, first hermetic principle of mentalism. Yeah? Here's a bit of a mind bender. I'll show you this. Why all of us, why all is in the all, it is equally true that the all is in all. To him who truly understands this truth has come great knowledge. So to understand why all are in the all, it is equally true that the all is in all. And then comes the next step, which bends it even more, and that is everything that is in the all is not the all. Right. And if you were to close your eyes and go into deep meditation about this, you probably go into a tailspin. So I would say, don't close your eyes. Open your eyes and look all around you, and you will see the truth. You will see that truth. Okay, if, as like me at the moment, you cannot sit in a garden or by the seaside or in any kind of ecosystem, as I say, as me, I'm not going to sit in the garden right now. It's bloody freezing cold out there. So you can use your imagination. Imagine a forest, an ocean, the desert with its critters in it, any kind of ecosystem. And then think that all are within the all. The all is that in which we all have our being. So everything is in the all. Everything you see is in the all. It is also true that the all is in everything that you see. The all is in the tree. The all is in you. The truth is within you. The all is within you. In everything that you see, the all is in there. So they all have their being in the all, and the all is in every part. But, and here comes, every part that has its being in the all is not the all. And again, if you look at the picture, you can see the truth. Because if the tree has got its being in the all, and the all is in it, you have your being in the all, and the all is within you. But you are not the tree. Yeah? So not one of the two can be the truth, because both exist. So everything that exists within the all and has the all within it is not the all itself. If you use the picture that we are being given as an aid to understand the teaching, you can actually clearly see it. I say, if you close your eyes and meditate about it, you probably tie yourself in a knot. But here's how the Hermetics looked at reality and reasoned its course, saying the reality is the effect, and then you can see the truth. And you do not have to deny any part of what it is you're looking at. They're all contained within the truth. So, that is one foundational Hermetic thought from which you can build. Now, and here comes what made me feel joyful yesterday, and that is the divine paradox, which also means you do not have to deny anything around you in order to proclaim it the truth. So the divine paradox is, and here is again, woe to those that say this is just a solid universe, or that the spiritual is the only thing that is truth. Again, you're making a choice. You're dividing parts of the all, and you're declaring only one part to be the truth, whereas everything is contained within it. So, and here comes the divine paradox. Remember the divine paradox that whilst the universe is not, and actually we're saying that in science, matter is not solid. Yeah, so that is the divine paradox. Whereas we experience it as solid, it is not. But here, remember the divine paradox that whilst the universe is not, still it is. Remember ever the two poles of truth, the absolute and the relative. Beware of half-truth. And here's the absolute that is the all, in which we all have our being. The relative is the being. And yes, the being is not constant, it is changing. It should change toward a higher knowledge of the all, ever upward, ever expanding its awareness, its knowledge of it. But the being is the relative, it is subject to change. Again, that is what John was aware of. The being, the state of being, and the absolute truth. But both are completely interwoven. And it is only from the state of being, which is a state of partial ignorance, that you can inquire about the truth. And again, the whole truth cannot be known. That was the foundation of every ancient teaching in this world. The all is unknowable. But we can get to higher planes of knowledge. So this was the part that made me joyful, and I didn't know why in the beginning. I said, "You're sitting here being joyful about a paradox, what's wrong with you?" But it is just that. Remember the divine paradox that whilst the universe is not, still it is. And the all is all around you and within you. That means the all is not, yet it is. Or at least this part of it is. And that means if the universe is, that means I am. And to hell with anybody who tells me I'm not. There it is. And anybody who chooses one side goes into half-truth. And again, you're going to a half-truth that insists that you have to deny everything else in order for it to be the only truth. Whereas where you can be given a truth that combines both things. And here's, you have the polarities, the is and the is not. You have the yin and the yang. You have the two polarities that lay next to each other and create the whole. The whole is only created by both, that you have to somehow bring together. And if you don't have both parts, you have a half-truth. So there it is, I am, because the universe is. At the same time, it is true that I am is existing in the states of being and not being. Next, mind twister. But now I come to the Ascendant Masters, yeah? So again, you have the polarity. That is, again, the Hermetic principle of polarity. Everything exists between two poles. You have the is and the is not. And in between the two poles is being. And there are many different layers of being that goes from is solid to is not spiritual. I mean, is not is actually even beyond spiritual, but at least say it to spiritual. And again, all those planes of existence are contained within the truth. It is not a choice of one or the other. They are all contained within the all. You make a choice, you go into half truth, part truth. Right. So Ascended Masters, those that achieve different planes of existence, yeah, from the solid toward the spiritual, working with these principles, they are the pathway. You understand the principles, it will take you toward a greater awareness, a greater state of existence. And here we come to the word existence. What does it mean? Existence means an experience, a truth. You are there, it is happening, it is not fantasy, it is not imagination, it is a reality. Yeah? As the solid reality now for us, for most of us, is the only reality, but it is a reality. So you go into a different reality that you experience, and that is truth. So the Ascended Masters can exist, have their being in a different level of reality. That does not mean they don't have a solid body. Again, there is no separation. Whereas their mind might get out of the solid body to a different plane and exist there for a while, does not mean they don't have a solid body. There does not have to be a complete separation. And here comes to the point where the Kabbalion says the Ascended Masters that are now truly a part of the cosmos. There are others. There are other masters on that level. They give to their knowledge of each other. They are known and they're being known. Again, if there are other Ascended Masters in that space where they meet, which is a state of consciousness, if there are other masters in that space, does not mean that they don't have a solid body somewhere. Again, every level of existence is contained in the same truth. You don't have to deny anything. And only then can it be a truth. So again, you get out of the body, you meet another being in that space, does not mean that being does not have a solid body somewhere. That it has not got a solid reality itself. Or they're all beings of fluttering light and we are trapped in the solid. No, we're not trapped in the solid. At all. Now, it does not say this in the Kabbalion, but this is my thought on that, yeah? If there is a meeting of the Ascended Masters on another plane of consciousness, what human Ascended Masters would bring is a knowledge. And the knowledge is grown out of the human experience, the solid human experience, yeah? They would bring that as a knowledge. Others might bring knowledge that comes out of a different experience. It is all knowledge of the all because everything is the all. You are increasing the knowledge. And then they said there are those that are no longer in solid existence. And I was thinking about them because then their knowledge can only be mind produced, in which case it is theory. They have no proof. They have no solid proof of their knowledge. So I would say those that come from solid experience have got the greater knowledge. Because not only have they knowledge of the cause, they have knowledge of the effect, and the effect is proof of the cause. Not only do they bring a theory, they bring proof. And to me, that would be the greater knowledge. Instead of those that are, if they no longer exist in the body, are purely theorizing. without any proof. And the other thing I was thinking is because there's always room for advancement. It doesn't matter how high up you are, you can always learn more. So if there are those on a state that are no longer in the body, the only way they can advance is through the knowledge that is brought by those that are in the body. They are advancing through the knowledge of others. But they will not go and have the experience, the proof themselves. Again, are they the ones on the higher knowledge when they're purely spirit? I don't think so. I mean, this is my penny's worth about this, my thoughts about this. I would say those that ascend from a solid experience have the greater knowledge. They know the cause, they know the effect. Both is the all is both the cause and the effect. They have the cause and they have the proof. And that is the greater knowledge, to my mind. So here we go. The first principle of mentalism, the principle of correspondence, an understanding of it that you can see in this world without denying anything. And that should be a solid foundation from where to go. If you advance from a half-truth, it will take you to the wrong place. You either embrace the fullness or don't go at all, because you will go into destruction on a half-truth. Anyway, here folks, I leave it at that for today, and I talk to you again soon. Bye.